Good morning. Today we are going to be talking about A/B testing, which sounds like a kind of super scary marketing term, but it's really not. It's just about having two choices and asking people to pick between them. So let's say you have an apple in one hand and an orange in the other hand, and you go around and talk to everyone you know and you say, "Do you like apples or oranges better?" And if they say apple, apple gets one tally mark. If they say orange, orange gets one tally mark. Whichever one ends up with the most tally marks at the end, you will keep that winner. For this video, we're going to be talking about A/B testing as it relates to opt-in forms on your website. An opt-in form is where someone can put in their email address or their name and their email address to be added to your email list so you can communicate directly with them later. Also, with the software that we're going to be using, we're not going to show them both the apple and the orange. We're going to have one behind our back. So we're going to show them the orange and ask them if they want to take a bite. And if they say yes, then the orange is going to get a tally mark. If they see the apple and they don't want to take a bite, the apple doesn't get a tally mark. So instead of choosing between the two, because they're not going to see both designs, the website is just going to show them one or the other when they come visit. They're going to be voting by saying yes or no. When you're starting out, you're going to want to have big differences between the two forms that your website visitors are going to see. These will be things like the template that you choose or the thing you are offering them. An offer is like if you're wanting to sell more commissions, you might say get 10% off when you sign up for my email list, or you could say get a free consultation when you sign up for my email list. That is going to be the offer. And then headlines are just the big text at the top of your form that's talking about your offer. So you might say something like, get a free consultation when you sign up for my email list, or join my subscribers for a free consultation. It's really just about the different ways that you can talk about your offer. You might want to do some tests that use more professional language and some that have a little bit more personality in them, just to see what your audience really responds to. Just so we're clear on something, a variable for my purposes is one change between two forms. So you can see these two forms here look the same. They both have the blue outline, the yellow text, but one has a green box and one has a blue box. So that difference is a variable. When you're just starting out with A/B testing, testing multiple variables at the same time is really encouraged. On one form, you're going to have a different headline, a different template, a different offer, different colors, and the second form won't be anything like the first. It's not really the most scientific way to test, but it's going to get you to a starting point a lot faster than if you take the time to test every single individual variable. That could take you months or years to get to a winner that will really perform better than your others. I'm going to be saying both variable and variation in this video, but they mean different things. A variation is the complete design. Here the first one has the yellow background and the green boxes, the blue lines, and the second one has maybe a completely different offer than the first one, with only one blank to fill out and a yellow button. There are two completely different variations as opposed to before when we just changed one thing, and that was the variable. So variation is the complete design and variable is one change. At the beginning, we're going to be testing 6 different variations against each other, and it's going to go something like this. We'll start off with 2. We will test them against each other, like your apple and your orange, until you have a winner. Then once you have a winner between those two, say it's the apple, we're going to throw out the orange and we are going to bring in the banana. So we'll have an apple and a banana and we will test those against each other. Whichever one wins, maybe the banana wins this time. That means it's going to perform better than your apples. So throw out the apples, bring in a kiwi, I don't know. Once you've done 5 different tests, you will have tested 6 different variations. The winner of those tests will have proven to be better than every single other variation that you've done so far, and you'll know that you've got a pretty good starting point. So when do you decide to choose a winner? Well, it really depends on how much data you can get, which is equal to the number of people coming through your website and signing up or not signing up. But that can take a really long time unless you have a pretty high flow of traffic. So what I recommend is one of the variations has to have at least 10 email signups on it to be declared the winner. If you have more time than that, you can say, I want to do 20 or 30 email signups. It's really up to you. The higher the number that you set, the more accurate your tests are going to be. But I like to get to a good starting point as quickly as I can. So I think 10 is an okay number to set the bar at to choose a winner. Once you get settled in and you have your big winner, you're going to start moving to some of the smaller changes, like testing 2 different images of your art, or a red button versus a green button. Those kinds of changes aren't going to make as big of an impact as your original tests, but you already have a pretty decent winner. So you're going to start trying to make it the best winner that it can be by changing some of these smaller things and testing those. At this point, you're probably going to want to just go to testing one variable at a time, so you can see which things are actually making a difference and which ones you can throw out. So if for some reason a green button is performing better than a blue button, you keep that variable on your champion form. And you'll just keep testing these small things on there, and eventually it's going to get better and better conversion rates. Every once in a while, you're going to kind of come to a standstill where you're just not seeing a whole bunch of change between your tests. If you want to throw a completely new design in there to see if your champion can hold up against it, I think that is great. If your new idea doesn't perform as well, it probably won't. You never know. Every now and then it'll surprise you. If it doesn't, you can toss it out and go back to changing variables within your champion. If it does beat your champion, you've got a whole new set of variables to start working with. And from here, you're just going to keep testing. And the higher the numbers you can get, the less website visitors you're going to need to get to where you really want to be.